Butch is with him longer than any of us was ever with him, so I'm sure he could elaborate a lot if he wanted to.
Put you in the hot tub a little bit.
I remember one instance of a tune, depending on what degree of his temperament I happened to be on the wrong side of at any given time, was a lot on how he would react to how I would play or try to interpret his tunes. It's going to sound real silly what I tell you, but I probably learned more from this one little statement. Bill Holden had recorded some Christmas tune with Monroe in the time prior to when I had gone with him. And they started playing the tune for me in Bill's dressing room. This is like 3 months after I went to work for him. And he looked at me, and he said, we were running down his tune and everything. I was trying to put a roll in it and maybe a harmonic here every once in a while or something like that just to make the sound happen, But his exact statement was, make it sound like Christmas, boy. And at that particular point, I was, I thought I was a hotshot little banjo player back in them days and all this, that, and the other. But I think I found out as I was able to be with him, he wanted you to make a sound with your instrument. And his reaction to a break that you played, you may play that break letter perfect for him, but you still didn't capture the flavor of the music. And I think that's what we're trying to get to, is his reaction. Banjo players, is that what you're looking for there? On the bus, when I would play a tune and I would be trying to learn some kind of cockeyed lick that he had, because he could do stuff with a flat pick that would just send you in circles with your finger picks, And if I'd get in the middle of the tune and stop to try to learn a lick, I would generally be the source of some derogatory remark for that, because he wanted you to play the tune from one end to the other. I don't mean this, in offense to the man at all, because I think I learned more from him and I admire him more as a musician than any man I ever met in my life. I don't want you to get that wrong. But he wanted you, when you started a tune, whether you were playing the exact notes of that tune or not, to get a feel for the tune. And it was like in his own music, when we'd go out in tunes that the banjo wouldn't even be featured on, like Mule Skinner Blues or something like that. You could play that tune at any speed. Speeds would vary from night to night, but his rhythmic emphasis to that tune was always the same. If you played Mule Skinner at 90 beats a minute, the rhythm sounded one way. If you played it at 130 a minute, the rhythm sounded exactly the same way, just quicker, just faster. And I think as a banjo player, what I got is I didn't get so much emphasis on playing the tune melodically correct as I did trying to play a feel in the tune, the same way he did in adding the identity to each tune through the rhythm that he played on the mandolin. If you go back and look at things like A Good Woman's Love, where you've got two completely different rhythmic patterns within the framework of that 3/4 timing signature of it, when he goes into the chorus, how it picks up, everything like that. And he was hunting the same thing on a banjo. Especially when I came along, I thought the big trick was play your banjo tunes, or play the tunes on the banjo just note for note the way the fiddle was. And that wasn't it at all. He wanted the banjo, it seemed to me, like to play a separate part, to have its own identity, but get the feel of that tune. And that's where that one statement, it kept haunting me for 4 years there, make it sound like Christmas, boy. What the hell does Christmas sound like? But at the same time, when it's played properly, when you do play a tune properly like that and give it an identity, it's going to sound like Christmas, or it's going to, your tunes that you might play like Sally Gooden are going to sound like those dance tunes, because he wanted them played like a dance tune. He didn't want to play like a breakdown. And did any of that make any sense?